Welcome to the part 2 of lesson 1 of Arab 310, Understanding Islamic Theology through the Arabic language. In the first part of this lesson 1, we have discussed the first 5 verses of Surah Naba, the first chapter of the 30th part of Quran, the Juz Amma. So far we have discussed the interpretation or the Tafsīr of al-Ṭabarī, al-Baghawī, al-Kashaf, al-Atiyah. Now, in the second part, we are going to start with the Tafsīr of al-Jawzi. The Qawlahu Ta'ala, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أما يتساءلون صدق الله العظيم. The regarding about what they are asking, aslahu, that its base is anma, like the other interpreters have said that fadgham noon fil meme, that noon has been assimilated to meme, wa khasafat alf has been eradicated of the ma, so it becomes أما كقولهم فيما وبما قال المفسرون لما بئس رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم جعل المشركون يتساءلون بينهم فيقولون ما الذي أتى به ويتجادلون ويختصمون فيما بأس به. So the other exegetes are the al-Tanzīl or the Mufassirun has said when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lama buisa, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent, the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made the polytheist question among themselves by saying with which Prophet ﷺ has come, and they were quarreling among themselves about what he was sent. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down these verses. وَاللَّفْزُ لَفْزُ إِسْتِحْسَامٍ, and the word is word of question. Walmani, meaning tafkhim al-qissa, the greatness, the azmat of the story. Kama yakulun, as it is said, ayya shayun zaid. So the al-Jawzi rahmatullah alayhi's commentary is very similar to the commentary of the al-Kashaf, the Zamakhshari's interpretation, where he has also given this example in his commentary, in the explanation interpretation of these verses. So as he also given this example, Ayyishayun Zaidun Izarat Azim Shanuhu, that if you intend to honor something, Tazim, honor Ashanahu, its matter, Summa Bayyan Mallazi Yatasalun, then he uncovered, Bayyana, exposed Mallazi Yatasalun, about which they were asking. Faqala Allahu Ta'ala an Naba al-Azim, they are asking about the great news, and the great news. Ashan wa fihi salasa aqwal, and there are 3 sayings regarding that. Ahduma, one of those is al-Quran, like the meaning of this an-Naba al-Azim is Quran, that Mujahid had said, Muqatil has said, wal fara, the Wakal al-Fara flamma jaba sarat amma, that the kannahum fi mani li ayyi shay'in tasaluna al-Quran, that this becomes that about what they are asking regarding Quran. So that's the first meaning, and we have seen this interpretation in the other Ahlul Ta'wil as well, other interpreters as well. And the second is the resurrection al-Bas, Qalahu Qatada, and Qatada has said that. Wasalis Annahu Amru Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that is the Amr of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Hakahu, it has been said by Az-Zajjaj. Qawlahu Ta'ala Allazi hum fihi mukhtalifun, man qala innahu al-Quran, fa al-mushrikina, that it's Quran, about which they are differing. فإن المشركين اختلفوا في, that the mushrikeen اختلفوا في, the believers differed in that. فَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ, and some said huwa sahrun, that it's magic. وَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ huwa shi'run, that it's the poetry. وَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ asatirul awwalin, that stories of the previous, the first people, their grandfathers. إلى غير ذلك. وكذلك من قاله أمر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأما من قال إنه الباس والقيامة وفي اختلافهم فيه قولان, that some have said that this is about the day of judgment and resurrection, and there are two fihi qawlan, dual. So dual, you will see in the classical Arabic qawl, qawlan, that there are two. There are differences in these two sayings. Ahdahuma, the first of one those is, the first one of those two saying, innahum ikhtalafu fihi lamma sami'u bihi faminhum man saddaqa wa man, that they differed once they hear that. Faminhum, among them there were some who believed, who affirmed it and believed. Minhum man kazzab, there were some who disbelieved. وَهَذَا مَانِيَ الْقَوْلِ الْقَتَادَةِ, and this is the meaning of the saying of the Qatada. And the second call, or second saying is, إِنَّ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَالْمُشْرِكِينَ اخْتَلَفُوا فِي, that the both believers and non-believers, Muslims and polytheists, differed in it. فَصَدَّقَ بِهِ الْمُسْلِمُونَ فَصَدَّقَ بِهِ الْمُسْلِمُونَ, the Muslims believed in it. وَكَذَّبَ بِهِ الْمُشْرِكُونَ, and the mushrikun rejected it. قَالَهُ Yahya bin Salam, and it has been said by Yahya bin Salam. وَقَوْلَهُ تَعَالَى كَلَّا, no, قَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ here Rad was Zajar, that this is the reply to their saying and warning, frightening warning, dreadful warning. Wakala Bazahum, and some of them said here Nafi Ikhtilafihim, that this is the rejection of their differences. Walmani Laisa Lamaru Alama Kalu, and the meaning of the meaning is that the matter is not like that as they have said. Say alamun, they will know. Akibatu, the end of takzibihum, the outcome, akiba, outcome of their rejection. Hina, time particle, when it will be revealed to them, the matter, the reality of the matter will become clear to them, it will be revealed to them. Summa kalla sayalamun, then they will learn. It's a warning after warning. And the Al-Jawzi rahmatullah alayhi also said that the other reading, Ibn Amar's reading, is also mentioned. So far we have seen the Satalamun in the interpretation of the three readers, that the first one they will know, and Satalamun, that you will also know. So that's about the conclusion of the Al-Jawzi's interpretation of the first 5 verses. Next we are going to the Tafsīr al-Kabīr. The Kabir, as its name indicates, it's a huge. It's one of the biggest commentary of the Quran, more than 30 volumes, 33 volumes probably. It's gigantic in terms of the interpretation of the Quran, probably the largest one, even larger than the commentary of the al-Ṭabarī as well, as you will see. So this is the Tafsīr al-Razi by al-Razi rahmatullah alayhi. He says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون صدق الله العظيم. فيه مسائل, that there are prepositions, there are some issues. Al-mas'ala al-ula, the first problem, the first proposition is about amma aslahu harfu jar dakhal ma al-istafhamiyya, the base, the root of the amma is the preposition amma, in which the ma particle of the questioning has been entered. قال حسان رحمة الله عليه ألا ما كما يشتمل إليهم كخنزير تمرق في الرماد, like the one who has been blaming me, excoriating me like a pig rolling in the mud. So this is the same meaning which Al-Kashaf has also quoted. والاستعمال كثير الحذف والأصل قليل. Again, the same wording we discussed, that the usage of the derivative one, the derived one, the amma is more, and the original one has been in less in usage. ذكروا في سبب الخسف ووجوهها. Let's mention the reasons for the derivation here. أحدهما قال الزجاج لأن الميم تشرك اللغة في الألف فصارا كالحرفين المعاصين. That there is one reason that the meme participates with the alf, so that's why it becomes two similar words over here. Al-Jarjani said إنهم إذا وصفوا ما في استفهام خذفوا ألفها. That once it becomes a question mark about something, then once two prepositions are merged, their alf is eradicated in order to differentiate between them. Like the examples are Fima, Wabima, Walama, Walam, Wahtam. The third reason given by the Ar-Razi in his Tafsīr al-Kabir is قالوا حذف ألف لاتصال ما يجرف الجر حتى صارت كجزء منه عن شدة اتصال. So in order to focus, in order to emphasize the connection, the alf has been eradicated from this, and this becomes amma. السبب في هذا التخفيف, the reason for this reduction في الكلام فإنه لفظ كثير تداول على اللسان, that these are the easier, more indicative on the tongue. Second problem, قوله أما يتساءلون إنه سوال, that's the sual. That's a question. قوله عن النبأ العظيم is the answer. أما يتساءلون is the question. عن النبأ العظيم is the answer to the questioner. والمجيب هو الله تعالى, and the answering it's the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is answering that. وذلك يدل على, and this indicates the على علمه بالغيب, this indicates about his knowledge of the unforeseen. بل جميع المعلومات, and also the everything, all knowledge. فإن قيل ما الفائدة فيه أن يذكر الجواب ما. It has been said, what's the advantage? Like somebody might ask, or one might ask, that what's the advantage, what is the advantage of mentioning that question if the answer is mentioned along with it? We said that to the person who is asking this, that what's the advantage of if somebody is what's the advantage of mentioning the answering with the question? That the combination of this question along with the answer make it's nearer to the understanding wal-iza and the in order to clarify it, in order to brighten it. And one is zero, and its example is like we say that this is in order to make it clear or easy to understand, and there are many examples of it, as other interpreters mentioned. That who is your God today? That's the question, and then the answer is Allahu Wahidul Qahar, and Allah Wahidul Qahar. And in the previous there was also an example. For example, here we saw that Ayyishayun Akbaru Shahada, that whose witness is greater than that. So that was an example. Here, this is another example. that has been mentioned. So that's the second proposition. The third proposition here is the Akarma wa Isa ibn Umar read it with Amma who al-Asl, that's the base, wa ibn Kasir innahu karamahu biha sakt, that ibn Kasir, that he has read it with the ha, like we seen in the previous example. Wala yakhlu amma yajri wasl wajri al-waqf, and it's the same that we seen in the interpretation, that way it's not left to whether it's the connection with the connection with the previous one, like an-Naba al-Azim is connected to the previous one, or it's separate. But the meant is that they are asking about something which has been clarified, so and explained to them. The interpretation has been clear to them. We also discussed in the one of the previous interpretations. So I will go through these quickly if we have discussed those concepts multiple times in the previous interpretations. Al-Masla Rabia, the fourth, the proposition or fourth issue, ma lafzahu wazat al-talb mahiyat al-shab wa haqaikuha wa taqulu mal malk, as we'll say that the ma word is used to ask about the reality of the things, about mahia, its composition, wa haqaikuha, and its reality. So the word ma is used to ask about the reality of the things, the composition of the things, the anatomy of the things, like wama ruh, wama al-mulk, wama al-jinn, like questions are asked, what's the spirit, what's the jinni, what's the king, and so on. Wal murad talab mahiyatuha sharah kaikuha, and the intention is, and the reason to ask this question is to clarify the reason. Wazalika kuna zalika matlub majhulan, that this is asked because the thing about being asked are generally majhul, unknown. Summa inna shay'a lazim allazi kunu li asmahu wa tafakama martaba wa yajizu lakali an yuhita bikunnihu yabka majhulan, and then that thing it might be great or might be high in its ranks, and the reason, akal, the understanding might be unable to comprehend it, and it remains unknown. So that's why it's a further explanation that the thing might be high in ranks, and the reason or understanding might be unable to comprehend it. فاصل بين شيء مطلوب يلفظ ما بين شيء لزيم ومشابه من هذه الوجه المشابهة هذه السباب المجاز فيها طريق جعل ما دليلا على الأزمة. So that's why the tafhim word that we have used. So this is the further explanation of that the ma here is used to ask about an-Naba al-Azim. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already said that it's great news, and the use of the ma here means it's an indication of its greatness. Hal zalika matlu alu rutba, in that state that the thing being asked is high in ranks. ومنه قوله تعالى قوله سبحانه وتعالى, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said وما أدراك ما سجين وما أدراك ما العقبة ما العقبة, that what's the similar example. So the Razi rahmatullah gives other examples that ma, the usage of the ma is about the question about some great thing, like for example ma adraka ma sijjin, that what are those registers, and ma adraka mal akaba, and what they know about Sijin, what they know about Aqaba, Watakud, Zaidin, Ma Zaid, and all these examples of this. So the summary of this is that the usage of the Ma is about something great. Al-Masla al-Khamisa, The fifth problem, التساؤل هو أن يسأل بعضهم بعضا قد تقابل. That they are the question is that they were asking with each other and وقد يستعمل أيضا في يتحدث به. Either they were asking sitting in front of each other, or they were talking about it. وإن لم يكن من بعضهم لبعض سؤال قال الله تعالى أقبل بعضهم على بعض يتساءلون قال قائل منهم إني كان لي قرين يقول أئنك لمن المصدقين. That they were asking each other, like in other place, that Allah tells the story of the people after the accounts are settled and the final abode has become final and clear. Then they will be asking each other, and one of them would say that I had a friend, inni kana li kareen friend, that I had a friend yakulu, he will say he used to say ainnaka laminal musaddiqin. He used to question me that are you also in the believers. So this is another example of amma yatasaalun. So this is the explanation. فهذا يدل على مانع التحدث فيكون مانع الكلام ما يتحدثون وهذا قول الفراء. And this is the saying of the Farah, that this indicates the meaning of the about which they were talking. Al-Mas'ala As-Sadisa, the sixth issue, أولئك الذين كانوا يتساءلون منهم فيه احتمالات. So about the people who are asking that, these are the possibilities. These are the فيه, there are احتمالات, there are possibilities of the one of them إنهم الكفار, that they were disbeliever, والدليل عليه قوله تعالى كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون. The two rejections, no, they will know, again they will know. الزمير, this mean في يتساءلون فيه مختلفون, they were differed in it. وسيعلمون, they will know. رجع إلى شيء واحد. وقوله كلا سيعلمون is تهديد, والتهديد لا يلبك إلا بالكفار, and this warning is related to the disbeliever. فثبت النزمير في قوله يتساءلون أيدي الكفار, that this is addressed to the disbelievers. فإن قيل فما تسا قولهم فيه مختلفون ما الكفار كانوا متفقين في إنكار الحشر, that this might be addressed to the disbelievers who were together in the rejection of the day of the judgment. قلنا لنسلم أنهم كانوا متفقين في إنكار الحشر. We might not accept this, that they were all agreed in rejection of the hashr. Hashr mean the on the day of judgment, one's accounts will be settled. وذلك لأن منهم من كان يثبت المعاد الروحاني وهم جمهور الإنصار، وأما المعاد الجسماني فمنهم من كان شاكا في قولهما أظن الساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي إن لي عنده الحسنى. That if that this is the saying of the person who says that I don't believe that day of judgment will happen, and if it happens and I return to the God, then with him there is all good for me. So minhum masar inkar. So in this they were that it's the complete rejection, the emphasis on the rejection, and then there is another saying that in this world we die and we live, and wama nakhnu bi mabusin and mabusin, and we will not be resurrected. ومنهم من كان مكر به لكنه كان منكرا لنبوة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم قد حصل اختلافهم في. Then they also said they were also disbelievers in the prophethood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and وَإِذًا إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا مُنْكِرِينَ لَهُ لَعَلَّهُمْ اخْتَلَفُوا فِيهِ كَفِيَّةَ الْإِنْكَارِ. And it also has been said that they were disbelievers, but the situation of their disbelief was different. فَمِنْهُنَّ, there were people among them who used to deny it. كان ينكر لسان المختار ومنهم كانوا الاعتقاد. Some were by choice, some were rejecting it by choice, some were rejecting it by the belief. And إن عادة المدوم والإدانة والقاد المختار إنه يكون قادنا لا ما يكون أملك في نفسي وهذا هو مراد بقولهم فيه مختلفون. And so these are some of the examples in which said that they were being differing. So that's the first possibility about which they were asking the ihtimal asani. And the second possibility is innal lazina kanu yatasaaluna humul kuffar wal mu'minun. So first possibility completely discuss about the disbelievers, and that the second possibility includes believers and disbelievers. وَكَانُوا جَمِيعًا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ, both believers and disbelievers were asking إِمَّا الْمُسْلِمُونَ فَلْيَزْدَادُوا بَصِيرًا. As far as the Muslim is concerned, it will increase its vision or its wisdom, وَيَقِينًا فِي الدِّينِ, and its belief in its iman, in its religion. وَإِمَّا الْكَافِرَ Fala Sabili Sakhriya, that the kafir used to ask it on the way of the mockery, laughing, or on the way of, by the way of shakuk wa shubhat, and the doubts, basically the not believing in something. So the Muslim used to ask it in order to increase about their belief, whereas the disbelievers were asking it about either for mockery or for the to remove their doubts. And the third possibility was the people who were asking innahum kanu yasaluna ar-rasul, that وَيَقُولُونَ مَا هَذَا الَّذِي تَأْنَا بِهِ مِنْ أَمْرِ الْآخِرَةِ, that they were asking about Prophet ﷺ, that what he is telling us about or what he's promising us about the hereafter, al-amr al-akhirah. قوله تعالى Naba lazim ففيه مسائل, and then the explanation of the next verse begins. المسألة الأولى ذكر المفسرون في تفسير نبأ العظيم ثلاثة أوجه, that there are three dimensions to it about عن النبأ العظيم. إنه هو القيامة, that it's the day of judgment. وَهَذَا هُوَ الْأَقْرَبُ وَيَدَلُّ عَلَى وُجُوهِهِ, and this is the most sound one, and indicates its reason. We will indicate its reason. First reason is قَوْلَ سَيَعْلَمُونَ وَظَاهِرِ إِنَّهُ مُرَادٌ مِنْهُمْ إِنَّ سَيَعْلَمُونَ هَذَا الَّذِي يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنْهُ حِينَ لَا تَنْفَعُهُمْ تِلْكَ الْمَعْرِفَةُ, that they are asking about something. Once it is made clear to them, and that knowledge, tilkal marifa, that knowledge, that knowing will not at that time benefit them. And it's known nazalika wal yawm al qiyamah, and it is known that that time is only the day of judgment. Once the knowing, the belief in Allah, His messengers, in angels, on the books, on the unseen, and on the predestination, that belief won't help at all. That knowledge won't help at all. So that's this Ar-Razi Rahmatullah alayhi used to indicate that this is the day of judgment, because it's being promised to them that they will know, but at that time that knowing will not be beneficial. So that's why it's the day of judgment. The second dimension is إنه تعالى بينه كونه قادرا على جميع الممكنات يقوله ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا إلى قوله يوم ينفخ في السور وذلك. So this is the he says that there are all possibilities, like يوم ينفخ في السور, that once the sur will be blown, the trumpet will be blown. Alam najal al-ard mihada, have we not made the earth leveled one, and so on. So these all indicates the al-Iqamat al-Qiyamah. So all these big indications, like the big things that Allah Almighty has mentioned after these 5 verses which we discuss in the next lesson, those all indicate that it's the day of judgment. وَلَمَّا كَانَ الَّذِي that word is not clear. بالدليل العقلي في هذه السورة هو هذه المسألة ثبت إن نبأ العظيم الذي كانوا يتساءلون عنه هو اليوم القيامة, and that the reason this also indicates that it is the day of judgment. يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين, and that's إن العظيم اسم لهذا يوم بدليل قوله, that the Naba al-Azim, so from the Azim word, from this the Razi said that it quotes from another verse that they think they don't think that they will be raised on a great day, like Yom Azim, the day on which the people will stand in front of the Rabbil Alameen, the sustainer of the universe, or the Alameen. وَقَوْلَهُ كُلْ هُوَ نَبَأٌ عَظِيمٌ أَنْتُمْ عَنْهُ مُعْرِضُونَ, and then another saying in his saying that that's the greatest news to which you are going away, deflecting. وَلَنَّ هَذَا يَوْمَ الْعَظِيمُ لَلشَّاءِ لَنَّ ذَلِكَ فَزَى الْخَلْقِ وَخَوْفَهُمْ مِنْهُ فَكَانَ تَخْصِيصُ اسْمِ الْعَظِيمِ بِهِ. So that's by using these examples, he also say that this is the day of judgment. The second saying in this regard is innahu al-Qur'an. There are the reasons are inna Naba al-Azim huwa allazi kanu yakhtalifun fihi zalika huwa al-Qur'an, because the Quran, they say Quran because jalahu sahran wa bazahum shairan, that they made Quran said it's a magic, it's the poetry. وَبَعْضُهُمْ قَالَ إِنَّهُ أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ, and some of those said these are the stories of the old. فَأَمَّا الْبَعْثُ وَنُبُوَّةُ مُحَمَّدٍ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ فَقَدْ كَانُوا مُتَّفِقِينَ عَلَى إِنْكَارِهِمَا, and that they all were agreed, they all were unanimous in the rejection of the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, and on the rejection of the resurrection after the day of judgment. Haza zaif, and then this is weak. Their differences were in the day of resurrection. The third, again about the great news. Inna Naba ismil khabar la ismil mukhbar anhu fa tafsiru Naba bil Qur'an ula min tafsiri bil baso nabuwa lenna zalika. So that's the tafsir is either the resurrection or the prophethood. Lenna zalika fi nafsihi, in itself it's news about something. Kavi zalika in al-Quran samma zikran mutazakkiruhu zikra wa hadayata wa hadisan. This is weak because Quran has been mentioned or named zikr wa tazkira wa zikra wa hadaya wa hadisa. So these are the names that have been commonly used for the for the Quran. So that's why this makes the Naba al-Azim about the Quran argument weak. فكان اسم النيابة عليه منه بالباس والنبوة والجواب أنه إنه كان اسم النبا عليه بهذا الألفاظ القاسم العظيم عليك بالقيامة بالنبوة لأنه لا اسم في الألفاظ إنما اسم في المعاني that it's not the wordings that's great, but it's about the semantics. والأول يقول إنها عظيمة إذن في الكساحة والأخطول على العلوم الكثيرة ويمكن الإجابة نظيمة في الأجسام مجاز غيرها وإذا ثبت تعرض بقى مكان ذكرنا في الدلائل Salima. Like, so it's basically about the it's the words itself are not great, Naba al-Azim, but the what's being told is the greatest. Inna Naba al-Azim huwa nabuwat, the third call, al-qawl salis. Inna Naba al-Azim huwa nabuwat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa qalu zalika li'annahu lamma ba'asa Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ja'alu yatasaaluna bainahum ماذا الذي حدث قالوا فانزل الله تعالى ما يتساءلون. The third said that it's about the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because once he was sent as a messenger, they asked themselves about each other. Then Allah sent ما يتساءلون ذلك لأنهم عجبوا من الرسال لله محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام عليهم كما. They were like surprised, or they were thinking on the sending of Prophet Muhammad as a messenger by the Allah. As Allah said, so this to support this argument, this verse has been quoted that they were surprised that to them warner has been come, and so the disbeliever said this is the strange. Haza shayun ajib. Faqala al-kafiruna haza shayun ajib. That the disbeliever said that this thing is strange. Like, to support this argument that the Anin Naba al-Azim is actually about the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad. It's not the resurrection, it's not the Quran, and the argument is this, that it's this ayah where Allah said that they are wondering about the warner has come to them, and they said it's a strange thing. Wajibu Aizan, and they also wonder that in Najahum bit Tawheed, that the Prophet Muhammad has come to them with the Tawheed, Kamakal Ajal Alihatan Ilahan Wahida, that he has made just one God for us. This Inna Haza la Shayun Ajib, that this is the strange thing. Faki Allah Ta'ala anhum masala bazahum bazan la sa'ilit tajibi qawlahu. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking about the telling us about their surprisedness, their wondering, their strangeness about the Tawheed, about the Prophet Muhammad, about the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad, and they come. So the all three possibilities have been mentioned by Al-Razi with the again supports from the Quran, and Wallahu alam. Al-Masala Saniya, the third is this fi kafiyati tisali hadha al-aya bima qalbaha qablaha wajuhahdahuma wal qawlil. So this is the link between the Maytasalun and Naba al-Azim. So this proposition, or this particular article, deals with the connection between the Maytasalun and the Naba al-Azim. So between these two verses, as has been related by the other interpreters as well, and almost all the exegetes, al-Ṭabarī, al-Mufassirin have somewhat hinted upon this, that there might be a connection, or there might not be a connection between these two. What taqdeer is the estimate is yatasaaluna an Naba al-Azim. لأنه خذف يتساءلون في آية الثانية, that the second verse could be أما يتساءلون, and then the second verse could start be the meaning of the second verse is يتساءلون النبأ العظيم, that they are asking about me, but then the يتساءلون has been removed from it by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it becomes amma yatasaalun anin nabail azim. With that, the yatasaalun has been removed from the second verse. لأن حصوله في الآية الأولى يدل على ثانية, that it's present, it's in the first verse indicates it in second. ويكون قوله عن النبأ العظيم استفهاما متصلا because the question is related to the first one, that the عن النبأ العظيم is not the answer, it's the question related to the first question. أما يتساءلون وتقدير أما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون لأنه اقتصر على ما قبله من الاستفهام إذا هو متصل به وقد ترجم والبيان له قرئ في قوله وكنا ترابا وعظاما إنا لمبعوثون. Yeah, this is not clear yet, but the meaning of this is that once we die and we become dust and bones, can we be resurrected? So بكسر ألف من غير استفهام لأن إنكارهم إنما كان للبعث, that their the disbelief was in the resurrection. ولكنه لما ظهر استفهام في الأول الكلام اقتصر عليه. That once the question word has become clear, so the later ones were derivative. فَهَكَذَا was هنا. So that's the same case here. In this verse as well, by giving the Al-Razi rahmatullah alayhi, by giving the example of this verse over here, try to relate it with the connectivity or the connection between the yatasaalun and nabail azim, and about the eradication of yatasaalun from the second one. وهو اختيار الكوفيين, the third one is the choice of the Kufiyin. Inna الثانية متصلة بالأولى, that the second verse is related to the first one, ala takdir, and they're estimately أي شيء يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم, about what they are asking the great news one. وأما كأنها في المعنى لأي شيء, أما is the meaning of about what, وهذا قول الفراء. So then the last two verses, Al-Razi's explanation of the last two verses, كلا سيعلمون سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون قال الكفال كلا لفظه وذات لرد شيء, the word Kalla is generally expressed for in the rejection of something which has been katakaddam, which has been expressed before. So if something has been expressed before, Kalla generally used to negate that, the preceding one. Hadha huwa al-azhar minha fil kilam, and this is clear from the wording. Walmani laysa al-amru kama yaquluhu, and the meaning is that the matter is not the same as they said in the great news, innahu batil, that they are false, innahu la yakun, that it will not be the case, وَقَالَ قَائِلُونَ كَلَّا مَا نَهُ حَقَّا ثُمَّ إِنَّ تَعَالَى كَرَّرَ ذَلِكَ رَدُّ وَتَهْدِيدٌ, that the kalla is in the real meaning, so then Allah Ta'ala rejected that. They said that in the rejection and warning. فَقَالَ كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ وَهُوَ وَعِيدٌ لَهُمْ بِأَنَّهُمْ سَوْفَ يَعْلَمُونَ أَنْ مَا يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنْهُ وَيَزْهَقُونَ مِنْهُمْ حَقًّا لَا دَافِعَ لَهُ. That that this is a warning to them, that that they will know that about which they were asking and about which they were laughing will not be stopped from happening to them. It will definitely happen them, and there is no doubt about it. There is no avoidance from this. وَأَمَّا تَكْرِيرُ الرَّدِّ, and this is the repetition of the Radd. فَفِيهِ وَجْهَانِ, and then there are 2 point of views. الأول إن الغرض من التكرير التأكيد والتشديد, that the repetition كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ is meant for the emphasis. وَمَانِ ثُمَّ شَارْ بَيْنَ الْوِيدِ الثَّانِي أَبْلَغَ مِنْ وِيدِ الْأَوَّلِ وَالشَّدِّ. So in that case, the Sani Veed is at the level of the first one, even serious than that. The second aspect of this is inna zalika laysa bi takrir. That one is not for the repetition. Summa zakaru wajuha Then the reasons have been mentioned. قال زهاك الآية الأولى للكفار, that so in the first point that we saw that the both are related, and the repetition is for the kafar, but in the second point of view, again Razi quotes from the Zuhaq that the first portion Kalla Sa'alamun is for the disbelievers and the second one is for the believers, that the disbelievers will know their akiba, the outcome of their rejection, and mu'minun will know wasalam al-mu'minun akibatu tasdiquhum, and the believers will know the end of their the good tidings of the good results of their belief. The second is again that the second aspect of these two ayahs, these two verses being separate. Al-Qazi said it's possible in Yuridu bi awwal se alamun, that in the first one it's meant they will know nafs al-hashr wal muhasiba at the time of on the hour, on the day of hour, and on the reckoning, the accounts will be reckoned with, and the second summa kalla sayalamun is meant with the punishment iza shahiduhu, and the punishment once they will see. And the third aspect is kalla sayalamun wallahu fa'ilu bihim yawm al-qiyamah. Kalla, the first kalla. So the third aspect says that, or third point of view says that the kalla sayalamun meant that they will know what Allah will do to them on the day of judgment. Summa kalla sayalamun. Then the second, innal amr laysa kama kanu yatawahhamuna, that they think min inna Allah ghayra basil lahm warab. But so that the matter is not that they will take that Allah is not capable of, but they think that Allah is not capable of resurrecting them. وَرَابِيُهَا كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ مَا يَصِلُ عَلَيْهِمْ. And the fourth point of view on the connection of these two verses is مَا يَصِلُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ الْعِذَابِ فِي الدُّنْيَا كَمَا جَرَى عَلَى الْكُفَّارِ الْقُرَيْشِ يَوْمَ الْبَدْرِ. That the first aspect, the fourth point of view, the first verse deals with the punishment that have reached to them in the world, like the punishment that happened to the disbelievers of the Quraysh on the day of Badr, in the war of Badr, the first war between the believers and disbelievers, which happened at the place of Badr, near 100 miles from Medina. Summa kalla sayalamun, that they will know bima yanalum fil akhirah. And the second kalla sayalamun is what the punishment which they will get in the hereafter. Next, the issue is in this one, Jamhur al-Qura, that the majority of the readers karahu bil ya, it's about the reading. So next issue deals in the Tafsīr of al-Razi. So we are still at the fifth one, deals with the reading of the kalla sayalamun, summa kalla sayalamun, that the both are with ya, the sayalamun, not with the ta. Waraviya bitta, only the Ali and Ibn Amr it has been remoted with ta. The one of them said wal-awwal ula لأنما تقدم به كلهم فيه مختلفون لا لفظه وتعالى كلهم ستعلمون. So again, this is another reason for using the ta in the second one. That سيعلمون third person plural, ستعلمون second person plural. كمن قال إن العبد يقول كذا وكذا ثم يقول العبد إنك ستعرف وبال هذا الكلام. That as said, somebody say and so ثم he says to the person Naka, you will know the outcome or the punishment of saying this. So that's it. Alhamdulillah. So we just finished the Tafsīr al-Kabīr. Just imagine how detailed is this, how many different point of views have been expressed by al-Jawzi rahmatullah alayhi in his Tafsīr al-Kabīr. It's really al-Kabīr, and it almost very comprehensive, encompassing all the possible interpretations and aspects of this. So next is the T7. T7 is Tafsir al-Baghawī, that the Amma yatasa'alun, al-Baghawī rahmatullah alayhi says that it's again the same with the Amma, where the alf has been eradicated, and this meaning is for the question and the greatness of the content of the matter underhand. So Amma indicates that what which they were asking to that because it was hidden, the nature of it was hidden, so they were asking, and the was Zamir li Ahli Makkah, and it is stressed to Ahli Makkah. They were asking about the about themselves, among themselves, about the resurrection. أو يسألون رسول عليه السلام والمؤمنون نستهزأ قولهم كقولهم. They were asking about the Prophet ﷺ and the believers anhum, in the way of mockery, that about what they are calling, what they see. So the like what believers and Prophet ﷺ calling, so they were making fun of that, inviting people to accept the Tawheed and believe in his prophethood and the day of judgment. So Naba al-Azim, Anin Naba al-Azim, Bayan Lishani Mukhaffam, or Sillat, it's the statement related to the greatness of the matter and its connection with Yatasa'alun wa amma متعلق بضمير مفسر به ويدل عليه قراء يكوب أمه الذين هم فيه مختلفون بجزم نفي وشك فيه, that the rejection or in doubt or with acceptance or in inkar. So these are the different variations of the being different. Mukhtalifun. Kalla sayalamun, they will know. Summa kalla sayalamun. The kalla sayalamun is the rejection of their asking wa'id alayhi and warning upon them, and the repetition is to make it clear, lishar bin nalvi disani ashad, that the second lishar, that the second is more strict. And it's also said wakila awal in the naza, it's also said the first one is about their fighting, disputing, and the second one is about tawassani fil qiyamah, and the second one is about the qiyamah. Or awwal ilbas, the first one, their knowing about kalla se alamun is about the resurrection, and the second one is about their reward or their punishment. So again, these two lines are summary of some of the concepts that we have discussed previously in the tafsir of al-Razi in the Tafsir al-Kabir and the number 6. And then the al-Baghawī also hints upon the Ibn Amar's reading of the 5th verse, Summa Kalla, and he says that it's the Sata'lamun, the second person plural future. Bitta ala takdir kullahum Sata'lamun, that they will know. So you will know that Kalla. So that becomes the meaning of this. Again, we have discussed about that previously in the other interpretations. So that's the end of T7. Next we'll move to T8, which is the Tafsir al-Qurtubi. Again, Tafsir al-Qurtubi is, as we also discussed, it discussed different propositions, and it's also as good, as detailed as the Tafsir al-Razi, Tafsir al-Kabir of al-Razi. So again, he said that it's the question word from which the alf has fallen to make it a news about the question, like then vima is when it is asked. So the amma yatasa'alun means about which they are being asked, and the meaning is that's the address to the Quraysh. The Abu Saleh and Ibn Abbas, from Ibn Abbas reported that the Quraysh used to sit and once Qur'an was being revealed and was talking about it, there were some who believed and there were some who disbelieved. Then the the Amma Yatasaalun was sent from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amma, it was also said, Amma man yashaddidul mushrikeen wa yahtasimun. The Amma is in the meaning of the about which the disbelievers or polytheists were fighting. And then anin Naba lazim أي يتساءلون النبأ العظيم فأن ليس تطلق ما يتساءلون الذي فيه تلاوة لأنه كان يلزم دخول الحرف الاستفهام فيقول أن النبأ العظيم كقولك كما الثلاثون أم أربعون فوجب لما ذكرنا منه امتناع. So that he's saying that the un is not related to the Yatasaalun, that it's separate. So again, we have seen this discussion in the previous tafsir, where some of the mufassirs presented both point of view, linking it to the Amma Yatasaalun with the context of an. But here Qurtubi is saying that the an is not related to the Amma Yatasaalun, it's related to the Naba al-Azim, about the Naba al-Azim. That Yatasaaluna an, they are asking about what? An Naba al-Azim, the great news, are about what they are asking. About the great news. So these are the two possibilities. وذكر بعض أهل العلم إن الاستفهام في قوله أن مكر. So it's an is the repetition. أما يتساءلون, because there was first about which they are asking, and then there is another an which is for the purpose of repetition. So they are asking about what? The great news, the Khabar Kabir, in which they are being differed. That they differed with each other. Some of those, the one rejected, the other one, one accepted, affirmed, the other one disbelieved. And then this is also reported from Naba that it's Qur'an. Again, the same verse that we have seen in the previous, then to support that, the same verse has been reported. Because the Quran is the news story and the great news. And then Qatada, again same, saying that it's the resurrection after the death, and the people have become two groups in that, believers and non-believers. The third. It's also has been said that's about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because the Jews asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about different thing. Then Allah Taala asked. Allah Ta'ala informed Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about their differences, and then saying that he's saying that they will know about the Quran, or they will know about the resurrection, whether it's true or batil. Kalla is their rejection, is the in reply to their rejection of the resurrection, or the resurrection of the Quran. So it must be, or it may be, in a sense of the kalam, what you are denying is right. But it's clear that their question was about the resurrection, because these were some of the first concepts which were revealed earlier. So that indicates innal yawmul fasli kana mikata, that the day of judgment will be about the separation. This verse. So the Qurtubi indicates that this verse indicate basically that they were asking about the day of judgment. Because then it's that they will know Siddiq Maja bi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Quran, that what came with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Quran is true. وَمِمَّا ذَكَرَهُ لَهُم مِّن بَعْدِ الْبَعْثِ وَبَعْدِ الْمَوْتِ, and what has been mentioned to them about the resurrection after the death. So that's all true. And again, then the repetition is Kalla se alamun summa kalla se alamun is the mean believers from Zuhaq, that the outcome of their rejection, and then summa kalla se alamun is for the believings, for the good outcome, glad tidings about their. And the Akil it also has been said. Bilaks, on the other hand, Aizan Kal Hasan huwa Waid Badawi, that this is the double warning after warning. Qira'atul ammati fiha, and the reading of the general fi fil ya al khair, that the general reading is ya qawlahu ta'ala yatasal. Then again the reading recitation, that's yatasalun wa qawluhum fi. But again, the Qurtubi has briefly mentioned that the reading, about the reading of the Al-Hasan wa Abu Aliya wa Malik bid-Dunar bit-ta fihima, that in both the ta has been read, that no you will know, no nay you will know. So basically this is the first time in the first tafsir ta has been mentioned for both of the those. So that's the end of the Qurtubi. Next is the Tafsir ibn Kathir, number 9. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the disbelievers who are asking about to the polytheists who are asking about the day of judgment by denying its happening, that they were asking about what, and the matter of the Qiyamah, day of judgment, that's the great news. That's Qatada ibn Zayd mean Naba lazim, mean resurrection after the death, and Mujahid said who al-Quran, wal azhar al-awwal qawlahu, and that's the most preferable, it's clear, the first one. لَقَوْلَهُ الَّذِي هُمْ فِيهِ مُخْتَلِفُونَ, يعني الناس فيه على قولين, that people are in two parts or two groups, the believers and non-believers. كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَيَعْلَمُونَ هَذَا تَهْدِيد شَدِيد وَوَعِيدٌ أَكِيدٌ, that this is the strict warning to them. So that's it. The Tafsir ibn Kathir on these 5 verses is very small. It's actually a summary. It informs that about which they are asking, and it's again it might be the day of judgment. That's the great news. Or it might be the Qur'an, as mentioned by other interpreters, exegetes, or it might be resurrection after the day of judgment. Ibn Kathir has not given any mention of the Prophet Muhammad in the interpretation of these verses about which they are being different. So number 10 is the Tafsir al-Jalalain. This is the shortest one, like very concise, very brief. That Amman Shay, about what Yatasalun, the Quraysh are asking, the great news. There is then the question of the greatness about which the Prophet Quran came in al-Quran. So the Jalalain, they said it includes the Quran. It's also Mushtamil ala al-Bas. It also includes the day of resurrection. الذي هم فيه مختلفون فالمؤمنون والكافرون. Mu'minun accepted, kafir, the disbelievers rejected. Kalla is the rad, sayalamun, and they will know ma yuhalla bihim al-inkarihim, what happens to them with their disbelief. Again, summa kalla says it's the repetition, and the second warning more severe than the first one. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned some of his qudrat, some of his signs, and that would be the verse 6. Okay, so we are almost out of time. The next tafsir, the Tafsir al-Usi al-Ma'ani, is the longest one. It's the long as compared to the 10th over here. We are almost out of time, so I would encourage you to review it in your own time. It turns out to be, because we were able to complete it in 2 parts, likely 5 verses because of their length, and even some of the interpretations might be more longer than this. So we would select fewer ayat and verses and try to compare it for all these 11 great mufassirs. Astaghfirullah allazi la ilaha illahu lahul hamdu fil ula wal akhirah. Astaghfirullah allazi la ilaha illahu wa atubu ilayh. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.